Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of Pixels for People, where we are raising for the Child's Play charity. Um, we are so excited to start this day 2, and we've got an amazing lineup for you today. So we are going to start off our morning with Trine 5, a clockwork conspiracy, any percent with the checkpoint skip. And we have I Like Baguette 25 ready to run. So I hope you all are ready. Make sure you're getting those donations in. We have amazing incentives. So make sure you check those out. My internet is not working very well right now, so I don't have them open right now on my screen, but I'll be hopping in and out, letting you know what those incentives are. We have some targets and some polls that we'd love for you guys to put those dollars towards. But I am going to go ahead and hand it over to I Like Baguette 25, and good luck with your run.
Thank you. So hello everyone. I like Baguette 25 or just Baguette if you want. And yeah, this is Trine 5, the most recent installment in the Trine series. And yeah, it came out pretty recently in 2023, so I'm just going to start on my game. These settings don't really matter. I'm gonna choose the easy difficulty, uh, which, it's normal for speedrunning. There are some cosmetic options, but yeah, I can just choose that. And we'll start the run as soon as the black screen appears. So 3, 2, oh, rather, go. It's not easy to
Notre
uh,
histoire débutait une fois encore.
like do a countdown.
Allons, du calme, mon grand.
So let's just start with the first level. So normally in Trine there are 3 characters,
C'est une
which
bibliothèque
are
après tout.
Pontius the Knight, Zoya the Thief, and Amadeus the Wizard. And the first 3 levels are basically introducing each of the characters. So here I have Zoya, for example. We're actually not gonna use her that much once we get the 3 characters. Unfortunately, because I do like Zoya casually, like I usually play as her. So anyway, we're also gonna grab all of these green things, or not really all of them, but as many of them as we can. And this is basically experience points, and later it's gonna help us buy
Eh oh,
abilities that we need for the run.
talisman. Tu as trouvé une souris?
Um,
Ainsi, je ne suis pas seule ici.
so yeah, there is a bit of routing involved with getting these experience points, and it's just a matter of memorizing where all of them are. Like for example, there's one right here, so I shoot an arrow kind of blind here. And here there's a fun little trick. If you do a small jump then a large jump, you do a bigger jump than usual. So instead of grabbing the kind of ball under the wooden planks, you just climb onto the wooden planks, and there are
Pauvre
3 experience
talisman.
points that you can
Il est
get
tout
right
neuf.
away.
Pas
Here I'm
d'aventure
going to
à
fire
l'heure
at
d'ajouter.
random. Same. Oh, this was actually pretty lucky. Like this thing you need to lower by shooting an arrow at it. Oh no. And I actually got it completely blind. I don't get it often, but that's a possibility, and it's pretty nice. So yeah, among the abilities of Zoya that you probably worry about now, she can grab onto these little rings, and she can swing, she can climb up, she can use ropes to connect 2 of the rings. So pretty good utility character, utility slash platforming.
La chambre forte de la bibliothèque et la carte au
But as
trésor
I
sont
said,
proches.
she's not used much. That's just because she doesn't really have any
J'aurais dû demander à un de
game-breaking
ces nouveaux
abilities.
chevaliers de garder les lieux la nuit. Mais il
Like
n'y
she can
croit
only
pas.
use
Ni
these
ne
specific
dort,
rings and
ni ne
not
pense, ni ne mange.
anything. Like in the
Comment
first
saurait-il
2
prendre
games, she
soin
could
de nos livres?
actually like
De nouveaux chevaliers?
um, grab onto any wooden surface, which is actually pretty overpowered. But here there are 3 like sort of things you can pull, and we're gonna do the upper one and the middle one. That's another thing to remember. Here unfortunately there's a bit of waiting. Can't really get past this any faster. It's a tutorial level, so sometimes there's parts where we have to wait, unfortunately. Here's actually a funny glitch that I don't showcase, but you can kind of fly if you do something precise
J'y suis presque.
on the stairs. But it's really inconsistent, that's why I don't do it. Alright, so that's the first level done. And now we're going to see the first glitch of this
Je
run.
n'avais pas l'habitude.
I'm going to go back to the main menu and
n'avait
start
pas
up the game
l'habitude de ne
again.
pas parvenir assez
And what
vite.
this is gonna do,
Mais
for
la
some
vie
reason, this is gonna spawn me at a much later checkpoint that I would normally.
Mon fidèle bouclier, c'est pratique.
Yeah. And so we're basically like skipping, I think even more than the first half of the level, which we normally have to do. And it's say like pretty much an hour over the total duration of the run. So now we have a little fight with these rat skeletons. There's one thing that's kind of interesting is that you can charge with punches and it has a cooldown, but the charge can either allow you to go from like one end of the screen to the other, or it also can kill any of the rat skeletons in like
Amadeus, le
one
magicien,
hit.
ne vivait pas exactement.
So yeah, that's something you have to be careful around. And now this is the last of the introduction levels, which we're gonna play as Amadeus. And Amadeus the wizard has the ability to create boxes on other objects. Right now we can create boxes on planks, and later we have the ability to create balls as well. And that's kind of his main ability. And as you can see, we're using it to basically carry us over certain gaps. That's one of the things you can do with him. It's pretty slow to do on controller because controller has a limit for the speed at which you can move objects. If I were playing on mouse and keyboard, it would actually be much faster and much easier, but I'm just not used at all to playing the Trine game on keyboard and mouse. So that's kind of area where I can improve, I guess. But yeah, we're using this to skip a bunch of puzzles. So as you can see, Amadeus is actually like a pretty good character for speedrunning. But he will get even better once we get an ability that was probably not tested very much. So here it's still the kind of the same thing as usual, just routing EXP. You're only gonna see that for like the first 4-5 levels, because after that we will have enough for the abilities we need, and we're not really in need of any XP after that. So here's another funny thing, you can like cross this entire gap instead of solving the puzzle. It's really quite overpowered. And here we're gonna do a little trick, gonna push the ball with the box, or like the rock I guess. And instead of like slowly accelerating to its maximum speed, it's gonna just like go to the speed of the box, which is like the max speed you can move objects at. Voilà.
J'espère que ce serpent n'est là que pour le spa.
This was kind of unfortunate.
Ah, la réception est juste là.
Alright, so after these first few levels, we are going to go to the first level where we have all the three characters, which that's where it's gonna get really interesting. Something I forgot to mention is that we didn't do the checkpoint skip in the previous level, Amadeus the Wizard, that because um, it just doesn't work on this level. There's like, I think 4 or 5 levels that it doesn't work on, which is unfortunate, but that's how the game works. And we're gonna get to it later, but there's one level that works only like a tenth of the time or something. I don't really know what's involved in it. Oh, but yeah. What I just did here is that I jumped kind of in the spikes with Pontius. Like I made a charge and jump and immediately just to destroy something. And that's basically in this game. If you switch character, if you're having... Okay, sorry, I'm not explaining this very well. When you die, you're normally supposed to wait a certain cooldown before you respawn. And... but if you switch character right during the cooldown, it will just reset the cooldown.
Cet animal magique aime dévorer des carottes. Ses homologues de plus petite taille
So if you just switch rapidly back and forth after dying, it just respawns you immediately. Don't have to wait. And that's actually like kind of really powerful. Normally, I think in the other difficulties you have a limited number of deaths you can take. But on easy, it's just you don't have to. You can respawn indefinitely, so you can really abuse this mechanic. Here's I think the first proper fight, besides the one we did like with Pontius in chapter 2. So normally the best way to defeat enemies is just to hit them with Pontius, or like that. That is the easiest way.
désemparée à
But there are some flying enemies that you can only really hit with Zoya.
la suite des
So you have
révélations
to
du
kind of
mag
switch
Aurore
back and
Alcorn.
forth. And something to keep in mind that the basic enemies, you can one-shot them by dashing into a box made by Amadeus. This trick is pretty difficult. We're getting some more EXP on the side here. It takes a bit of a while, but you kind of have to do it, unfortunately. Now we're going to cross this gap by just using a plank. Oops, I thought I had Pontius here. Something I also didn't mention in the Pontius level, I kind of didn't have time, is that when dashing with Pontius, he has maybe like a second where he dashes, but if you jump, he will continue dashing in the air, regardless of his like timer. So the ideal thing is to dash and wait until the timer is like almost over, or almost out of your charge, and then you jump. So, as you can see, just charge and jump. Alright, this is one of my least favorite parts of the game. It's really precise. There's this wooden box here, and you have to use it to jump over it. But the fact that it's wooden means that it will break very easily, like right here you just broke by falling onto the ground. And yeah, if it breaks, you have to restart because it doesn't like spawn back or anything. Just not very fun. And at this point, you still can't spawn 2 objects with Amadeus. What? Please go back down. Normally he's not supposed to stay all the way here. But there's one that stay up, but normally they all like go down. I don't know why this one stayed up. It's a very easy puzzle. We have to redirect the water with Pontius' shield. You can skip this one, unfortunately. Now we're going to the second level, which doesn't have a checkpoint skip. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned checkpoint skip is the thing where you go back to the menu and it's immediately like brings you to a later checkpoint.
Comme ça.
C'est bien le raccourci louche que prendrait un voleur.
Les chevaliers mécaniques se cantonnent aux rues principales.
Jusque-là, ça va.
And yeah, this is also my least favorite level. It is very slow. You're still at the point of the game where no, you don't really have many tricks up your sleeve to skip puzzles. And there's a very long section with just Zoya that takes forever to do. And also, the game introduces these rat enemies. Basically, what they do is that they can dodge your attacks sometimes. It's not super consistent, but that's kind of the gimmick. And they're really annoying.
Ne bougez pas, je dois aller vérifier un truc.
That's the Zoya section here. There's a few puzzles that are like really long to do and really tedious. Huh. Oops. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. If you fall here, which is actually surprisingly easy to do, you have to climb all the way back up. And here you pull this lever, but you have to wait until the thing is here to jump. And here's probably my least favorite puzzle in the entire game. Not only is it slow to do, but it's also really finicky. You have to basically line up these 2 boxes on top of each other, but sometimes one of the boxes won't be aligned properly. And you have to push the button yourself. Or even worse, if the boxes like fall down, you have to redo the entire thing. Just not very fun. And here we're going to get an ability. New ability.
La guilde est étrangement
So I
généreuse.
think this is the first time we see it. Normally there's
Ces flèches ont
like
des
1 per level. And these are mandatory abilities basically. You get them regardless of like what you do. The green experience are for optional abilities that you get. You can basically choose amongst specific, not really specific, but amongst like many options. And specifically one we're gonna get right now, so I don't forget later. You're gonna get Wind Burst and Wind Burst Leap. Now, basically, Wind Burst allows Amadeus to project objects far away around him, and Wind Burst Leap increases
de retour.
the range and power of this Wind Burst, and it also allows him to jump after doing the Wind Burst, but as you can see, they forgot to cap the number of jumps you can do after a Wind Burst. So you can actually do like, I don't know, 8 or so jumps after a Wind Burst and gain unexpected amount of height. And this is the main glitch basically that we use both on this and the no checkpoint skip run.
Les gens comme vous
And
n'ont pas leur place dans notre paisible
really, it's like the main thing that allows this game to be done really fast because you can skip so many puzzles with this. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of it, but there are still other strats that are worth mentioning. Like this one. Because you need both distance and height, you can't just use wind burst and hope it works. Like you have to use a plank to help you up. Or not really up, but just to help you get further. And here the wind burst has some properties like it's supposed to project objects around you. But for some reason like a few gates are also affected by this wind burst, so you can just open them just by wind bursting next to them. I think this one is the only one we do in the speedrun, but there are other ones that we could do if we weren't using checkpoint skips. And alright, here, this is normally the epic finale of the level. But we can just keep it by climbing onto the truck and dashing over to the end of the level. A lot of fight skips as well. But it's unfortunate because the fights get kind of repetitive. And there are still fights that we are going to have to do. Kind of struggling. Basically, you here's an example of something that you can't quite reach with just a wind burst, so you need either a box or a plank to help you. So yeah, it's not a solution to literally everything. You're going to ring this bell, it's gonna put a puzzle for us, but what I'm gonna do is just use the wind burst and try to make this ball go across to the place where it's supposed to be. Now, if you're really lucky, you can go there in one try, but that's kind of the backup strat that I usually have to use, unfortunately. And now here's the final fight that we're actually gonna have to do. So we are going to straight up use the thing I talked about earlier. Gonna just one-shot all of these guys with one single box. These ones can't be one-shot because they are a bit stronger. They have more health and the box doesn't go past them, so it's less impressive. Oh, I got way too... as you can see, while I'm destroying the two big guys, I'm using the shield to deflect the fire balls that are shot at me and reflect back. So not only do they do like tons of damage, but also inflict damage over time, which is kind of overpowered. And the two kind of turrets that are shooting at me, they die eventually. Instead of having to shoot them with Zoya, which is kind of slow because Zoya doesn't have any strong attacks at this point. Later she gets much more powerful. Normally I'm not very conservative with myself just because you respawn so fast, but sometimes you do have to stay alive. Like here where I respawn was right at the bottom. Alright, this is I think the first boss fight. This guy has 3 attacks. The first one, which he always does first, is this projection. Oh, I didn't ever have to talk about the attacks. I didn't have time. So the first one, he throws like bombs at you, and you have to get them back to him. The second one, he has this fire attack. And the third one, which you saw earlier, he's just going to shoot projectiles that you have to quickly go back at him with Pontius. That's why I always have Pontius when he's on the ground, because this is like you barely have time to react to it, so yeah. And if he's in the air, he's only gonna do this attack. This one is the most annoying in my opinion, it just takes so long. Kill. And a bit of waiting. He also has like attacks that you can't hit him with, like this one where he just creates yellow energy balls. And when he like claws you and everything. Pretty interesting boss fight to optimize, but it's also quite RNG based.
Bonté divine, bonté divine.
Alright, this is, I believe, the shortest level in the game. Because of checkpoint skip, we're gonna spawn at the very last checkpoint in the game. Not in the game, in the level. And all we have to do is get up here and dash a bit, and we meet with this girl, who is the librarian. We met in the very first level. Don't ask me why she's here. Story stuff. I don't remember. And this is another one of the level which we have to do entirely. And it is pretty interesting. There's a lot of puzzles that you have to find creative solutions for. And yeah, we're gonna see it unfold. For now, I use another pretty good trick, which I create an object right above my head with Amadeus, then I throw it with the wind burst, and I immediately grab onto it with Zoya. So the object still has like a lot of momentum. So we're gonna do a quick solve. This one. And the area fills with water, so I have to go back swimming. I can see there's an oxygen meter here, but as long as you know what you're doing, you're never really in danger. I can say I'm switching characters in this part. Basically, each of these purple projectiles deals about like a third of your max health of damage. So if you get hit by 3 of them, like you die and you respawn all the way back. Well, this is one of the more annoying parts. Oh, I did the second try, nice. Kind of inconsistent this object charge. And you can go up here just with a wind burst. It's not even just to save time, it's just that otherwise it doesn't work. I'm gonna do a pretty cool trick here. We're going to use this box to push a button and use an arrow with Zoya to do the other one. And here's this pipe puzzle. So we have to reconstruct this whole pipe structure. And then we're going to... I need to get this out of the way. I'm going to use a box, a plank, and an arrow to press all 4 buttons at once, if I can shoot it properly, and aim. Right.
C'était le bon vieux.
You light this barrel on fire and it explodes, so you can go back. Oops. What I wanted to do. Here's another fight that we're gonna skip. The surgeon is pretty easy, you just freeze the button and then you press or rather you pull the lever. Here's the funny thing. Normally there's a rat chasing you. Oh, he's not even there. But normally there's a rat chasing you and he just stops down. He doesn't follow you up. I guess this is they have certain zones where you can be at all times. You're gonna have to time this properly. Using doing a stomp with Pontius spawns another barrels, but if you spawn it too early, it will explode with the barrels that's already there, and you do need to make the barrel explode so you can free it. Now here's what looks like another arena. Now you're gonna see there's gonna be more rats at spawn, but I'm just gonna go down in the water and solve this little puzzle again. It's not a difficult one to memorize it. And we're going to go back and oh, there's nobody here anymore. Where did that go? Well, I found out that they actually jump in the water. I guess they try to follow you, but they instantly die when they're in the water. So yeah, that's kind of funny. And now here's a fight that we're actually gonna switch up our strategy a little bit. We have this spiky ball, which deals like huge amount of damage. It deals like half the damage, the max health of our enemies. So we use it as much as possible with Amadeus.
Je refuse d'aller dans cette bassine. Ça a l'air dangereux.
And now we're gonna get to the final part of the world, which we have this kraken thing pursuing us, so there's a lot of memorization here. Sometimes there's tentacles that you have to hit with Pontius, sometimes there's parts where you have to do certain things. I mean, jump up with Amadeus. You can see also that these things were supposed to let the Kraken destroy them, and I'm literally just staying on the spot. As I said, I'm not conservative with my health at all. There are a lot of checkpoints that reset your health, and I know that here I can afford to take like a bunch of damage. Puzzle pretty easy. You hit the purple thing twice, you hit the button twice, and you stomp once, and it does the trick. Now this level we are going to checkpoint skip.
Quittant enfin les tunnels des contrebandiers, nos héros tombèrent sur une nouvelle.
But I'm going to go back to the map and start up from the beginning. Basically we need an ability, which is Pontius' clone. Also, really great ability by the way. I really like how it was designed. And yeah, we need this ability to finish the level anyway, even with a checkpoint skip. So we're just going to get to the point where we get it, and immediately go back to the checkpoint we unlock. Because, yeah, this...
C'est peut-être leur grotte, et donc leur chaîne.
Si on les rencontre, on leur expliquera qu'on ne veut pas les voler et qu'on leur
yeah. Oh.
Ça marche super avec des
What?
gangsters armés qui tapent
Why
des
did
morts
he
et
jump?
des fous
Ça
ensuite.
suffit, les hommes rats.
Oh. It's unfortunate. This orange thing destroys your objects in one hit. So yeah, you have to time that properly. Also, this purple liquid instantly kills you as well. So many things that kill you in this game. But fortunately, the death, like you can take as many deaths as you want, because you can respawn so fast.
Pontius, tu veux pas aller voir
And for some reason, you also have like so many invincibility frames. That's not even invisibility frames, that's invisibility seconds after dying, which you can also abuse. Like you can straight up go across like spike pits. Here's a nice little puzzle where I have to use that sword swing ability. Normally we would have gotten it in the 5th level, but yeah, we
Quittant
we
enfin
get
les
to
touristes
that.
des
So as you
contrebandiers,
can see, I
nos
just got
héros
the cloning ability. So now I'm just going to proceed from the unlocked checkpoint that I got from checkpoint skipping. And yeah, we reflect the light onto all of these lizards. And yeah, here's a fight. Uh, I like using the fire arrow with Zoya for this one because they deal damage over time. And that's actually like really good, especially for these guys that keep teleporting.
Revenons à nos moutons.
And yeah, Pontius's clone, it's literally just
Non,
uh,
je veux en entendre plus sur Amadeus et
Pontius having
Arrête avec
another
ça, s'il te plaît.
character he
Je
can
ne veux pas que
control
Margaret
basically.
apprenne en plus que
And there's a lot of
trouver
interesting
des
puzzle
ennuis
with
c'est
it
moi.
that most of them we're gonna skip. Either with checkpoint skipping, like most of the puzzle with Pontius's clone we would have seen like earlier in this level, but we just skipped all of them unfortunately. Or fortunately I guess because it's faster, but yeah, we don't get to see the interesting puzzle design for this game. Because that's puzzle where you have like to offset the clone or and
Enfin,
do
sorti
certain
des
thing with
tunnels.
him and Pontius at the same time.
De l'air. J'ai l'impression que ça fait une
So now we get to
Au cours de leur
Whips
expédition,
level 12, which is also
au
gonna
cours de leur
be mostly
expédition dans les
skipped.
tunnels oubliés,
We get, I
nos
think, to the
héros
last
avaient
checkpoint as well. We need to just use a plank, make it across. And now we're going to use a ball to open this door. We're not even gonna bother with the enemies. Like, I think most of the time, to be fair.
nos héros espéraient obtenir de
And now we
nos
get
héros
to the
espéraient obtenir
Astral
de l'aide à
Observatory,
l'observatoire astral
which
ou un
is
moyen d'affronter leurs ennemis.
normally one of the longest level in the game, and
Nos héros espéraient obtenir de
I
l'aide à
jumped in the wrong
l'observatoire astral.
direction.
quelqu'un
I'm
aime
now actually gonna
jardiner?
use the clone to gain a bit of time. I don't think it's mandatory, but we're gonna need to water this flower and provide it with light. It's gonna grow a lot. Flowers don't. I'm pretty sure flowers don't do that in real life, but yeah, now we destroy the barrel with a fire arrow and we replace it with a planet.
Une représentation fidèle de l'espace.
And
Non, elle...
you can really see the power of object charging here.
important.
You can get all the way up this long pit, which is actually kind of insane. And here's the second boss of the game. This is the Wilhelmatten. So she has 4 phases, and for the 3 first phases, we're going to have to activate the electric thing at the top, so we can like electrify her. Here, for example, we have to press both buttons at once. So I just press the button with Zoya and throw an arrow across. I don't think it's the intended method. The intended method is to squeeze one button. But yeah. And between the phases there are other attacks that we don't really care about. Now she freezes this, so we're going to use Pharaohs with Zoya, but then she uses this attack. And that's a grounded attack, by the way, it's always consistent. So we can reflect the fire things she throws with Pontius, and it destroys the ice much faster than just using fire arrows with Zoya. While waiting, you can do funny things like that. Also, sometimes on bosses, I'm gonna take inintentional death. And this is basically so I'm not on low health. Because being on low health is bad if you die to a part where you need to be alive. We don't really care about dying, but if it spawns you back like on the floor, sometimes it's bad.
Barbara, une magicienne de l'Observatoire astral, indiqua à nos...
Now we get to Autumn Woods, which this level is also mostly gonna be skipped. Now, sometimes I think that kind of unfortunate because they're nice
Un dernier obstacle se dressait.
puzzle skips and strats that you can use
Un
in these
dernier
levels.
obstacle se dressait entre nos héros et le bastion
But
d'espoir.
really, the no checkpoint skip runs at about twice as long, so this is a bit over an hour long. My record for no checkpoint skip is 1 hour 50. And now we're actually gonna get another ability. We're gonna trade our Wind Boss Leap for now for this ability, which is locking objects. And we're just gonna use it to get past this because we have basically to lock objects. No. Unfortunate. This is also a level that's really short. And I'm instantly gonna undo this because we're going to get locking objects later again. But this time we're gonna have enough XP to actually buy it. And that's one thing that's also like
Ponctuus avait hâte de revoir le
quite
bastion de...
overpowered, I guess, is that you can just choose any abilities you want at any time. I mean, there's no penalty to just
Tu ne nous as jamais raconté ça, Pontius.
forgetting, quote unquote, an ability that you learn to choose another one. I guess that's pretty good if you're playing casually, if you want to test something and everything. But for speedrunning, it really makes it like really easy to switch to the abilities you need. This puzzle skip is pretty funny. As I said, the wind burst affects like pretty much any objects, like these things. And yeah, you can push them like into the roof. And you climb up and then you cut the rope yourself with a sword, which is definitely not what you're supposed to do.
Ces brutes ont fait une
But
très forte impression
as
sur
long
nos
as it
esprits.
works,
Assez ruminé. Venez, il est temps de faire notre propre impression sur ces soldats.
alright, we're gonna use some more object charge here. Actually, I'm gonna do it twice in a row.
Ça n'en finit pas.
Rien que courir d'un endroit à un autre est un bon entraînement.
Comment savoir laquelle de ces monstruosités mécaniques a volé les pouvoirs de Valerius?
Continuons à chercher les chevaliers pétrifiés et on finira par trouver la source.
Shoes. By the way, this is my favorite level, and I guess you're gonna see why right now. And there's like so many different tricks you do here in this level. One of the most clever ones. This glitch wasn't found by me, but I found the application for it. Normally, the game prevents you from lifting yourself up. Like you can't lift objects which are, oops, right below you. But here we just impale this object on a spike ball, and then we move the spike ball, and it just works. And here, normally there's an invisible wall, but we can get across it if this guy wants to let me. We use the Fox Rope, which is an ability we normally have gotten in Autumn Woods, level 14. So, basically we just teleport to a point, to a point that you grabbed with. I mean, sorry, my English.
Que
I'm
ça
forgetting.
de revoir le bastion de
You
l'espoir.
teleport to a ring that you grabbed onto. Alright, and here's a
fait
fun
mal,
skip.
mais
You basically activate a checkpoint early, and then you just go back to the map and reload. Alright, this is also my favorite boss. Or not really if you mess up, but as long as you do it properly, it's really fun. Because there's like a lot of things you have to do. Basically, each phase you have a different thing to do. Like right now, we need to get the cannonball and fire it at him. And here we're actually gonna fire one of these vegetables, but we need to first kind of stone the vegetable by making the boss attack it with one of these purple beams. We turn the vegetable to stone. So it fight's pretty complicated, but it's really easy once you know what's happening. This cannonball is on fire, so you have to freeze it with the and you also have to uh, use an object charge, or not really an object charge, but you just need to charge a ball or into the cannon that turned to stone. And for the last remainder of the health of this boss, we're just gonna hit him until he dies. And here that was actually quite lucky. He spawned another cannonball,
Armé de ses pouvoirs de voyant,
and if you explode it right next to him, I don't know if
armé
that's
de ses
just deal a
pouvoirs
ton
de
of damage or
voyance,
he instantly dies, but
Barbara découvrit
either
l'emplacement
way
du
it's a lot
splendide
faster.
aéronef des
Right here we actually spawn into one of these uh I think they're called skill quests or something. I don't even remember. Normally, so we have solo Amadeus right here, which is always I don't really like the skill quest because when you die, you can't switch characters, cheese it like I normally do. And thankfully this one is quite short, especially because we skipped a bunch of it. And the ability we get for this, oops, is the ability to reverse the gravity of individual objects. Yes, I think we will only use it like once after this. So that's not exceptionally useful, which is the case for a lot of these mandatory abilities that you get. You normally use them on puzzles, but since we're skipping a bunch of puzzles, while they get a lot less use than we would normally, and you're actually gonna take advantage of the really long invincibility frames. I'm just gonna let myself die here. If I can. Yeah. And we're gonna do it again here. Normally you'd have to go below to like use the buttons and whatnot. We just dash through it with the like 2 second long invisibility time. Right, this puzzle we're gonna just skip by stomping on this thing. I don't know why this works. This was not found by me, it was found by another, I mean, pretty much the only other runner in the community right now. This puzzle solution you have to memorize. It's you freeze the middle one, you use the level 3 times. You freeze the bottom one, you use the level 1 time. Then you unfreeze everything and pull the level 2 times.
On dirait qu'on est toujours en l'air.
Thankfully I memorized it properly.
Ah, super. C'est encore plus.
Now there's a bit of an unskippable waiting time here. We are going to use this electric generator that actually falls right here, and we use it to kill all of the enemies really quickly because it one-shots them. Here we need Amadeus to protect us ourselves from the black smoke.
Oh, je suis le roi du monde.
Normally we can make it past the electric current before it even turns on, but that's not a big issue if you don't, because you can just instantly respawn. This part is a bit tricky. I should try to get a consistent way to pass it. This part I do not like at all. There's gonna be a big guy that comes in, and if the big guy steps on this gears, it's as if you stepped on them, so you can't move them with Amadeus.
Nos héros
I
se
don't know
lançaient
why
dans
it
une
does that.
Aurore et Godric.
Here
sont
I
quelque
was
part
actually,
sur cette
that was
île.
actually really good because he didn't step on them at all.
La perspective peut
But
jouer des tours.
I usually struggle
Ce
a
qui
lot on
semble
this
être
part.
proche du ciel peut se révéler être à bonne distance à pied.
Now we get to another one of the longer levels, also because you can't checkpoint skip on this one. The beginning is very easy. You do a lot of windburst leaps and charges. Now we kind of choose this puzzle by throwing a sword with Pontius's clone, which I think we can do. Pontius's clone has literally all of the abilities of Pontius. And we use a fox rope to instantly teleport to this. And we're gonna do it again here. Except we have a bit of a puzzle. We have to solve like the first half of the puzzle still to make the clone able to throw the sword onto here and grab onto it with Zoya. And stand on this really thin
Nous allons retrouver
platform
Je
to
redeviendrai
instantly
un
dash
héros, et
and
Marie voudra bien.
Charles, by the way, we should get the object locking
Toutes ces épreuves seront
before I
belles.
forget.
C'est ça. Et le royaume et l'académie
Now
astrale
this level
seront
introduces
séparés
these
par magie.
balls.
Tous les seigneurs, les
Oops.
magiciens disparus vont
You
réapparaître
can't
d'un coup
levitate them with Amadeus, so you have to push them with Zoya and Pontius. They're quite annoying, to be fair. So I didn't mention until now, but the combat music sometimes stay for really long after, I don't know, after you left the fight. I guess they didn't intend you to skip all those fights, even though it's like not that difficult to skip. And here we use object locking. It's kind of hard to explain how object locking works, but basically it like keeps the object rotation the same no matter what, so we can make objects hang on only like really small pieces of solid ground, and they are gonna just stay in place, even though normally they would like easily fall. Now these enemies are annoying. You have to use Pontius's light shield, which is just another ability we didn't get because we checkpoint skip, but you still get them once you finish the level automatically. For this you have to be fast. This guy is gonna come down and then he's gonna try to attack us, and he's instantly gonna destroy our fragile thing we did. Structure. We have to cross this gap, and then we solve the puzzle really fast. Sometimes the big guy on the other side can actually shoot
Relâchez-les immédiatement. Ou bien
missiles
on vous
onto your object, which is really annoying. We're gonna use object looking once again to make this stay in place somehow. And here, I kinda like this part. It's really precise. Have to wait here, then dash, so the cooldown can just barely be enough for you to be able to win burst leap again. One other thing we can do, we can instantly go below here by just going around. And here normally there's a pretty lengthy fight here, but again with some
Les ennemis doivent se
lockdown
cacher
planks
quelque part.
and
Ils ont toujours
the win
Julius,
burst leap,
Lucius et Agnès. Nous devons les
we can just get on the other side and skip the
Seul
entire
palais
fight,
mécanique-
which is really convenient because this fight is long and there are
seul
more
le
of
palais
those guys with the
mécanique se
shields.
dressait désormais entre nos trois héros et Julius, Lucius et Agnès.
Alright, this is there's a one like 1 in 20 chance or something of these checkpoints keep working. I never got it. Someone else in the community like got it, but I'm still in the process of figuring out how this works. And because it puts you like right at the end of the level, it would save so much time if you managed to get a consistent way to get it. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to do the Clockwork Palace entirely right now. We're gonna have more of these guys, which we love to see, of course. Now, thankfully, by just spam mashing square and using the charged one with Pontius, we can one-shot them. I mean, one-cycle them, not one-shot.
C'est un véritable défi.
Because oftentimes they used to like, I mean, normally they re-enable their shield after some damage is dealt. This guy, we're gonna one-shot him with the laser beams. And here's a pretty complicated setup that we have to follow, actually, because does know the way to solve this puzzle. It's pretty complicated the first time you go through it, but I memorize it like pretty much everything
Mission
else.
était donc un piège.
And I use using fire arrows to deal with these guys. Somehow the enemy spawning on the right just get stuck here as you hug the door.
Regardez, ils ont même des panneaux.
Mais quel sympathique petit cachot humide.
That was unfortunate. Again, we're gonna ignore the enemies. We're gonna abuse the invisibility realm once more, and you can really see how bad it is. Like they were really generous with them. Now, unfortunately for these guys, I'm pretty much forced to go behind them if they don't want to fall down by themselves. Otherwise, gonna push them into the void. Now, normally you'd think this is good, right? Push them into the void for a quick kill. But no, they don't care, they just respawn with their shield backup. This skip is a bit difficult. You need to be really precise with it. Because it's actually like pretty good distance away. Now we can afford to wait on this platform because there's a death plane right below here, and even if you come, you like enter the death plane from above, it will kill you. So you have to be a bit patient here. And yes, this level is very long. That's why skipping it would be really,
Rentrer à
really
la maison
nice.
sans avoir à faire le grand saut.
Here I switch between the characters again to try to.
Vous pensez que les pouvoirs de Trine suffiront à nous tirer d'affaire?
Hmm,
Ne me dis pas que tu
I
te
need to
fous de
remember
nous.
this.
Je sais qu'on peut échanger de place et ne pas mourir. Mais ça ne rend pas les
This
ciblés
puzzle has
invulnérables.
a specific solution as well,
Des choses absolument horribles. Oh, si seulement
but it's
Trine
not
était
that bad.
Elle pourrait sauver mes enfants. Elle était si gentille et intelligente. Elle saurait quoi faire.
And because I didn't get the checkpoint skip, we're soon going to see
La chasse aux trophées. Ce seigneur
one
est
of
une
the
véritable honte.
most interesting
Animaux me
skips.
semblent familiers.
C'est parce qu'on a combattu la version mécanique de
Euh,
chaque animal.
So it
Ils
is
volent plus que les vies des magiciens pour créer ces machines.
inconsistent. We're gonna basically slide planks
Grâce au
under
pouvoir de
this,
Trine,
which you're really not supposed to do.
bientôt dans l'ordre.
Je ne sais pas
We're
comment
gonna
faire.
lock them
Les triplés
together,
sont encore à la merci
then we're
d'Aurore
gonna
et
put a
Godric.
box
Nous
and
allons les trouver.
set this
Si
up.
seulement la vraie
If
Trine était là.
this is very chunky. uh, put a box above it, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna be able to lift this box, and this basically works as if we're able to lift this normally unusable ball. Oh, that's sad. Uh, why is this not working? Help me. Maybe I can stand here. Alright. We're going to destroy that and just move it ourselves. Please. Yes. And we actually need this setup. So I need to make the ball fall back down. Please. Thank you. I'm just going to rechoose the entire thing. I like having two planks here, it's a tad more consistent. And we're gonna do probably the most complicated skip in the run, which I've called, or it's not really me, but I call this section the washing machine. It's basically an auto-scroller where I put through a gauntlet of like dangerous thing, lasers and everything. I think it's a good 3 minutes, probably more than that. Do I have? No, I don't. Like, don't have enough. Normally at this point of the run, I like buying the strong elemental arrows for Zoya because it does like so much more damage. For the very last fight, basically before the boss.
Préparez-vous, on va leur montrer.
Yeah, this is we're going to get to the final boss finally.
À l'heure la plus grave.
So yeah, I forgot to talk about washing machine skip. Yeah, I know. I think it's good. Now I want to talk about the final boss. As basically it's Lady Sunny and Godric. I think he's in English he might be called Lord Godric or something. I'm not exactly sure. Basically, he has only a single attack that we can't hit him while he's doing the attack, and that is this one, the one with the missiles. And it's annoying. Now this is the first interface where we're actually gonna damage Sunny. I'm not sure what's the logic behind whether you're damaging Godric or Lady Sunny, but yeah. We're going to damage Godric during these phases with the randomized attacks, and there's gonna be 2 consistent attacks in which we're gonna damage Lady Sunny. This is by far the best attack. He stayed like for so long in this one specific spot, and you can just hit him with Pontius all the way. And she's gonna be the second Sunny phase, which she's gonna do this big attack. If oh no, that was the worst thing ever. It's not even that hard to hit her. You just have to throw an arrow with Zoya at the right time. Because otherwise you just have to wait. So we're going back to the randomized attacks. We actually didn't get the missiles during the second phase, which is good. The least I've gotten in one fight is a single missile. I think that's probably the best you can do. Actually we got 2, which like average, I guess. Alright, we're back to the attack. As you can see, the arm just stays in place for so long. I have all the time in the world to damage it. Now we're going to a small auto-schooler segment. We'll have to avoid, again, the attacks are constant. You can just jump in the water if you want and not able to hit you. Or maybe they are. You just stay in the middle. There's gonna be some more. You can actually protect yourself with an object if you want for this part. And here it looks like we're gonna die, but no, we just... There we go, then we dash. And final thing we do in the run is just hit this with Pontius. And it's gonna be time. So, alright, I hoped you enjoyed the run. I hope I was able to commentate it well. It's kind of difficult having to do all of these tricks and talk about them while doing them. Thank you for the GGs. And if you're interested in like speedrun, you want to learn more, Trine speedrunning or Trine 5 speedrunning is really small right now. We're just like mostly 2 people, so yeah, if you want to join, like why not? There's more people in Trine speedrunning, of course, but not many people have tried 5 actually. And this is gonna be the end for my run. I thank you for having me on the event. Good luck to all the next runners. Goodbye.
Thank you for that awesome run. Unfortunately, Ninja is
You're
having
welcome.
some technical issues here, but she will be back as soon as possible. But yeah, I like Baguette. That was an awesome Trine 5 run, and we'll be back after a short intermission with Zero playing a game I have never heard before, but hopefully it's a good one. I know it's a good one. All right, see you guys soon.